Today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can 3-star any base at Townhall 9 using witches. So this is the army composition you guys can see on screen right here. We have very few troops. In fact, we only have a couple of different types. We've got some wall breakers in there. We of course have a few golems up front to tank, and then the main portion of our army is going to be those 10 witches. We also have 4 earthquake spells, 1 coming in our clan castle, 3 in our regular army, and then we have a jump for the back end of the base and a couple of rage spells. Now for our heroes, nothing special on the equipment. It's going to be their basic equipment, showing you guys you can do it without needing to spend anything on that. And then for the clan castle troops, we have a wizard, a bowler, and the apprentice warden. The apprentice warden basically is a great troop down here at the lower town hall levels, because you're going to be able to get that life aura you typically could get from the grand warden, but we're going to be able to do it on Town Hall 9 troops, which is amazing. So let me jump in. I'm going to break down the base and how we go about beating it. So this is the first base I'm going to be attacking, and I'll break down pretty much how we can 3-star it. This type of base is what we call an anti-3-star base. So we of course have that Town Hall on the outside of the base, and typically that means we're not too scared to give up a 2-star. What we're trying to avoid here is the 3-star. So what we want to make sure we do here is try to get maximum value from our earthquake spells and our jump spells. So we're going to use our 4 earthquake spells to open up a large portion of the base, and ideally what we're looking to do here is open up as many compartments as possible. Now in this specific base, this might not be the same in all of them, but in this specific one we have this right here, which is absolutely perfect for an earthquake spell, because it means we can open up all of these compartments. If we go ahead and we drop that earthquake spell on this middle wall right here, we're going to be able to open up all of these back end compartments. Now typically what I tend to do here in these style of attacks is I want to go into the base on the side where the heroes are. But on this specific example, it's actually not going to make any sense to do that. We're actually going to be better coming in from the opposite side. So I'm going to jump into the attack and I'm going to show you guys how we can 3-star this base. So we don't need to stress too much about those earthquake spells to start. In fact, we're actually going to get our main portion of the army in first. Now, it's really easy to do this. And if you guys watch, I'll show you exactly how to do it. We're going to start off with a golem up the top and 2 witches in behind. A golem and 2 witches in behind. I actually put down 3 witches on that corner, but it's not the end of the world. We're then going to put down 1 more golem in the middle and spam in the rest of our witches. We're then going to go king, queen, and our clan castle. We're then going to drop down a rage, and we're going to sprinkle in a few wall breakers into that rage to make sure we open up these first few compartments. Now we're wanting to make sure the majority of our troops go into the core of the base right here, so we're actually going to drop down a jump spell right there just to get us through. We're now going to come into the back end and we're going to use those earthquake spells to open up all of those compartments. Keeping an eye on our troops, looks like we need to use our king's ability. Now it looks like our troops are starting to push into the middle, so we're going to go ahead and drop down that second rage spell. Already you guys can see we are completely decimating this base. We actually have quite a lot of witches and a couple of golems pushing around to the outside, but it's not the end of the world, because we're still able to pick up so much value through the core of this base. And look at those earthquake spells. They did some nice damage, but they opened up all of these back end compartments, meaning we didn't have too much to stress about here. And this base, honestly, completely and utterly crushed. This strategy is just so strong at Town Hall 9. I cannot stress how incredibly powerful it is. It really is so easy to use. The main thing we need to focus on is trying to find the maximum value from those earthquake spells. The rest of it you can replicate absolutely the same every time. 1 golem, 2 witches on a corner, 1 golem, 2 witches on the other golem in the middle, spam those witches in behind, king, queen, CC, rage, wall breakers, and we're into the base easily 3-starring it just like we did here. So I'm going to throw another example up on the screen and we'll talk a little bit more detail about where we want to use that jump spell. Okay, jumping into our next example. Now this one is a great example of why we want to go opposite Townhall side, because we're going to be able to get the king, the queen and the CC all relatively at the same time. We don't want those to be picking off our troops when they're a little bit more damaged and when there's more DPS coming through on the back end. But this one, we want to probably use our jump spell potentially through to the back end. But on this one, we're actually going to be able to open up a really nice chunk of the base with our earthquakes. So I'm going to use 1 golem, 2 witches, 1 golem, 2 witches. Gonna give them a little second. Then we're going to go 1 golem and the rest of our witches, king, queen, CC. We're going to give them a second. Then we're going to rage them through and we're going to start sprinkling in those wall breakers. Now ideally with these wall breakers, we want them to go through the rage to get maximum value. Here come those clan castle troops, need to be careful with them. But we're now going to use the rest of our earthquake spells right here to open up a massive chunk of the base. Going to use that other rage spell to make sure we get comfortably through that dragon in the clan castle. And I'm actually going to use my other jump spell over here just to help us get through and over these wall sections. Now I know we don't have access to these last 2 compartments, but that is not the end of the world, because right now we're completely tearing through this base. We still have that king's ability, so we're going to go ahead and pop that right there just to help us clear out some of these back end defenses. Queen's still being tanked for wherever she is over here on this left hand side. That apprentice warden doing a fantastic job just helping to protect some of our troops. And this one, yeah, it's going to be another 3-star. Honestly, I don't know what else I can say about how strong this strategy is, but you guys need to try it. No matter what base I come up against, I can 3-star using this strategy. I've come up against anti-2-star bases, anti-3-star bases, really wacky style bases, and no matter what type of base I come up against, witches always crush it. In fact, I've even beaten maxed out Townhall 10s using this strategy. They did have single target infernos. If they'd had multi-target infernos, potentially could have been a different story. But we're going to do one more example, and on this other example, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to spam everything in and I'm going to show you how easy it can be. Not going to explain too much here. We're just going to crush this base. So we're going to go 1 golem, 2 witches, 1 golem, 2 witches, 1 golem, 6 witches. Oh, we've actually had a little cheeky corner Tesla there, which unfortunately does take out one of our witches. Not the end of the world. We're then going to use all of our earthquake spells in here, open up that back end compartment, king, queen, CC. We're going to get that rage spell, sprinkle in those wall breakers, and now we have the CC troops coming out. So we're going to use our jump there just to make sure we get over these walls. Going to wait a little bit of time. Make sure all of our troops are coming in. We want to make sure we take down that CC nice and quickly. And then we're going to drop down our second rage spell, and that's us. We don't need to do anything else in this attack except sit back, relax, and watch as we 3-star another base. So we can of course use that king's ability as and when you want to. If you've got these settings already set, it can automatically go off. So technically at this stage, I could just double tap and actually swipe away from the app. And I'm pretty comfortable this one is going to be a 3-star. And there we go. There's the 3-star, nice and easy. Like I said, even though this one's slightly closer on the back end, I pretty much just spammed everything in there, could sit back, and I'm still able to get the 3-star. So hopefully this explained how you can easily use witches at Townhall 9 to crush any base you want to. It's a super strong strategy, and I hope you guys have many 3-stars with it. If you did enjoy this video and you'd like to see more from the Town Hall in the future, make sure you head down there, leave a like on the video, subscribe as well for more like this in the future, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.